Welcome to the Mind Pursuit podcast, where we talk about anything around the human mind. I am still with Slalo. Such an enriching story you shared with us about your consultancy. That is where we are starting from. Mm-hmm. Now you've moved from being employed to now consultancy world. Mm-hmm. So perhaps you can tell us more about that and how your journey continues from there.
Thank you very much for today. Yes, now I'm doing full-time consultancy. Okay. What I'm doing is more one-on-one sessions, training, but importantly, coaching.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and mentorship for those who would love to be mentored. And I'm not just mentoring or coaching in the counseling field.
Okay.
Yeah, even in other fields, even in business, for those who'd love to. Wow. Just a few ways of navigating work and business at the same time, or even people who'd love to transit from employment into business or whatever. Yeah, so I'm doing a bit of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now your consultancy has shifted from just counseling alone to now other areas.
Exactly. Wow. Exactly. Because now I have picked the coaching angle. Which I'm finding it also very rich. Yeah.
How did you come to identify like you have to do more than counseling? Because that's what I'm picking. You are now doing more than just counseling.
When I was at summer, we were doing more of what we call coaching, rather than, let's say, deep one-on-one sessions, because it's part of employee assistance program. You are offering support to the very people you're working with. So you find that one way or another, the sessions are slowly digressing into coaching, because someone would say, help me understand how I'm going to improve my career, coach me and hold my hand to transit to the next level of my life. You see, it is now counseling and coaching and spirituality being integrated.
Yes.
So I'm taking that route more. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tell us more about now the consultancy.
So for the consultancy, how I'm getting clients is referrals, people who I have worked with before, giving in a good word, and also training, as again, still referrals. And this for me is very important. Wow. Don't burn bridges.
Oof. Say that again.
Don't burn bridges. Yeah. Every person who has come into someone's life, there is a reason. It's one of the things that I've held dearly in my life, that every person who has come into my life or have gone into their life, there must be a reason. And that one, I gained it a lot when I was working at a money counseling center. When I was in a leadership position and I was given an assistant, I kept asking myself and praying, what am I supposed to do to this person? What am I supposed to build in this person? And what are they coming to do in my life?
Oof.
They could be an angel God sent by God.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I could be their angel.
Yes.
So I would rather be the angel than being the demon.
Yeah.
So the angel here means building this person to discover the best of themselves.
Yeah.
Oof. And I believe as I'm doing that, they're also impacting me to be the best version of me.
Yourself. Yeah. Wow, that's so powerful. Yeah. It just reminded me of what one of the people I look up to, Cecil Winans.
Yes.
She says, you're the only Jesus that people are going to
see. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that for me is very important. Moving from employment into consultancy.
Yes.
Remember resilience. For me is very important. Consultancy is not easy. Yeah. I love being real.
Please be real. Tell us.
It's not easy.
What is making it difficult?
First of all, how do you start it? I was struggling and I'm still structuring. How do I start this?
Yes.
again, where am I going to get the clients? Now that I don't have a constant source of income, how will I manage my bills?
Yes.
Yeah. What percentage of my consultancy will go into my foundation? Something that we'll talk about later.
Yes.
Yeah. How will I've been in the Kenya, quote unquote, counseling field a bit longer. Remember my 3 years at Summersource, my few months in Meta. The 1 year I was on a job break, and then 1 year in Nigeria, remote work, meaning 5 to 6 years I've not been integrated a lot into the Kenya system of counseling.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to come back, but not coming back empty. I'm coming back with a lot of knowledge and experience that I can actually use to enrich my consultancy field. Yeah. So it's not easy, but it's doable.
Oh, wow. What, maybe you can tell us, what is it that made you feel like this chapter of your life, you're not going to look out for a job and you're building your own?
Yeah. Transitions in life.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the age where I would want to give back more to the community. And I feel I'm not able to do that with a full-time job.
Yes.
But if I get one, because I'm still open, if I get one, if it's remote work, better. Yeah, but I want to take a break just to take time to do my community work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So you talk about SKF. First of all, tell us, what does SKF mean and how? And I am cognizant of the fact that I'm asking multiple questions. But the first one is, what is SKF? Maybe we start from that.
SKF stands for Susan Kahema Foundation.
Susan Kahema Foundation, just from your name.
Just from
and then
name.
Foundation.
Yes.
Yes. How did you make that transition from now consultancy, where you're offering counseling, you've talked about coaching, you've talked about training, to now starting Susan Kahema Foundation?
Susan Kahema Foundation was founded way early. In 2012, if I'm not wrong. But it didn't have the name. I started by taking care of children living with HIV. We were calling it Hope in Storm. Yes.
Wow.
So Hope in Storm has actually evolved to Susan Kahema Foundation. One day I'd gone to visit, I'd taken a patient to one of the HIV centers, care centers, sorry. And I saw a child who had an infection on his head and face. And that child moved my heart. I asked the parent of the child, and I was shown it. I told the parent, I would love to visit. And when I visited her, I told her, can you get other women who have children who are infected with HIV? And she said yes. And that's how it started.
Oh, wow.
Our core was to help support children living with HIV. And that after that, I took a break, I think for 1 or 2 years, because I went back to school for the master's now. I took a break from the project, but the project was still going on, but I was not fully involved.
But did you have a team?
Yes, I had a team, and I was still in touch with the people that were supporting in Dandora and Korogocho area. Yes. And it's one person bringing in another person, and I had a big families that were supporting there, helping them to set up income generating activities, ensuring the children have good nutrition, connecting them with other organizations like Lea Toto, and ensuring that they go back to school. Because for me, education is still very important, and ensuring that the children are taking their medicine on time. So much later, when I felt settled, remember I had 1 year break when I came back from Singapore. I said, now I need to, no, it was before I even went to Singapore. I decided now I need to go back to my foundation, no, to the Hope in Storm. And then I just said, why can't I just register it? And then I thought, let me register it as a foundation.
Yes.
And I registered it as Susan Kahema Foundation.
Wow.
Yes.
Who inspired you to register it as a foundation?
I've always seen these major foundations, Bill Gates Foundation.
Okay.
Locally, we also have foundation. I've thought a foundation for me is better than an NGO. Yeah. But the core of the foundation is in honor of my late son. My son died when he was 6 years old.
Yes.
From a chronic condition. And I said, in his honor,
yes,
let me start a foundation that will reach out to the children with chronic illnesses. But towards the end of my son's life, he had brain damage, which caused paralysis, which by God's doing, he didn't wake up from it, but the doctors kept telling me he's paralyzed, neck going downwards, and he had a brain damage. So even if he made it, it could have been a very heavy case. So I said, let me honor him by continuing his journey.
Wow.
And that's why I integrate children with disabilities.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the foundation, we take care of mental well-being of children with disabilities, children with chronic illnesses, and their caregivers.
Oh, wow.
Remember when I was taking care of my son, I was a caregiver.
Yes.
And I struggled as a caregiver. And I was in a place of privilege.
Yes.
Yeah. But I kept saying, I'm in a place of privilege and I'm still struggling. What about those people who are not in this place of privilege, of taking their children to good hospitals? There was money. How are they coping with it? Yeah. So that's, our vision is to see every person with disability, more so children, are living holistic lives. Regardless of the disability.
Wow.
Or the chronic illness. And here chronic illness could be cancer, lupus, HIV, whichever. And they're also gaining resources to live holistically. For example, the person who needs a wheelchair, we connect them with organizations that can give them wheelchairs.
Okay.
For children with disabilities who can access education, we connect them to institutions where they can learn. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love disability, and you're doing such a noble cause. But then now you've been able to talk about where it began in terms of the problem. And I'm an entrepreneur, love entrepreneurship. I'm a social entrepreneur. But then one of the things that we are always, that is always an emphasis, even in this space, is understanding your problem. It's not about the solution. It's about the problem that you're solving. And for you, the problem is clear, that you're looking at children with disability.
Yes.
Disability is so diverse and very broad. So for you, you are able to categorize that, and you're going even beyond to the children who are going through chronic illness. And you're able to categorize that as well. And what I'm hearing is you're able to offer a link between, like, for example, you've highlighted a wheelchair user, being able to link the wheelchair user to the child. Now, staying with the problem, you say you are the caregiver. Yeah. So what are some of the things that maybe propelled you to see that apart from just supporting the children, you need to equally support the caregiver? So what did you experience that was a light bulb moment that you felt even in your foundation, SKF, Susan Kahema Foundation, you wanted to also incorporate the caregiver?
Actually, in the foundation, although my direct person is a child, I have a very special eye for the caregiver. So in a sense, you'll hear me moving away from the child into the caregiver. And this is because when I was with my son in the hospital, any visitor who used to come to visit, they kept asking, oh, how is your son? How is Babu? We had called him Babu. How is Babu? And they would say, oh, he's doing well, or oh, Babu is struggling. Every person was asking me about my son, which I appreciate. But at some point, I asked myself, and I'm aware this might be a bit emotional, I asked myself, am I this invisible? Only one doctor asked me, Mama Babu, how are you? One of my sisters asked me, Lalo, how are you? Go home. Today I'll sit here to take care of your son. Go and rest. That made a big difference. That made a big difference. Yes. And I want to encourage people who are going to visit a child in hospital or someone who's taking care of someone in hospital. Please consider the caregiver as well. As you're bringing an orange for the sick for the patient, bring an apple for the caregiver. Yeah.
Wow, that is something so profound. So everyone needs to learn.
Yeah. So I realized, because that time I struggled again with my mental well-being, I realized if my mental well-being was, I don't want to say the word good or not so good, was okay. Let me use that word cautiously. I would have been present 100% to take care of my son. Because there were moments I was feeling very overwhelmed and I want to rush to the washroom to cry a bit. And then I come back. And that is the wealth of experience I brought into Susan Kahema Foundation. That if the caregiver or the guardian or the teacher or the nurse or the occupational therapist, the physiotherapist, handling or interacting with a child with disability or a child with chronic illness, if this caregiver, and I'm using caregiver holistically, if they are well taken care of in terms of their well-being, their social life, you know, they are able to navigate their life very easily. In return, they'll take care of the child. So who is benefiting at the end of the day?
The child.
The child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. The child will buy diapers for, the child will do everything for. But for me, I want to transit back to this caregiver.
Wow.
As I'm buying diapers for this child, are you well paid? Is your emotional, do you have good emotional intelligence? Problem solving? Remember, when I was taking care of my child, the more his health was regressing, my health was also going down. Because that's the first time I was diagnosed with clinical depression. And I realized the more he's getting sick, parallel process, I was also getting sick. He's going into this hole, I'm going into the same hole. And now, fast forward, I look at the caregivers, for example, in hospital. I'm looking at the caregiver who is doing physiotherapy for this child week on week. And maybe they're not seeing any progress. Maybe the caregiver is wondering, how long will this child be in this state? You see, there could be moments of depression, moments of low and sad moments. They even lose their children, you know? So it's not just about the direct caregiver. The other day I was at the Association for the Physically Disabled of Kenya in Mombasa. I was talking to the parents and I was telling them the gate person needs care, mental well-being.
Absolutely.
They are opening the door gate every day for the children to go in. Maybe they even asking, what if I get a child with a disability? Yeah. Yeah.
So they experience a lot of secondary trauma.
Exactly. You're right. You're right. So our key role is that well-being, for now, the holistic care of this child. Because some of the child are not verbal, so you cannot really do counseling. But you can do counseling for the caregivers, for the parents. Yeah. I love advocating for the rights of children with disabilities and the rights of the caregivers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that's the space that you're in.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
wow. And
like for example, I tell them, you don't have to keep telling your story. You're re-traumatizing yourself.
Yeah. And people are like, every time people come, they're like, tell us what happened.
Exactly.
It can get so overwhelming.
Yeah, it can get overwhelming. The caregivers are going through very many issues, from stigmatization and discrimination, lack of knowledge and resources, marriage issues a lot. The feeling that this is my child, I need to protect this child. I did that with my child. I wanted to protect my child from every other person. And the more I was doing that, now I know I was actually refusing other people, blocking other people to help me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wish I had not done that, but anyway, it's a learning. Because maybe when my sister told me, let me stay with you, go home and rest, I allowed her. What if I had allowed many people to help me in that journey? It could have been different, but anyway, so those are the journeys I'm supporting people now and teaching them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And something I'm able to pick is also your mindset. Losing your child, I can imagine how difficult it was for you.
Yes.
But being able to now look at it in a way, how do you help other caregivers who are going through that difficult point in time?
Exactly.
Oh, that's so rich.
Yeah. Remember, I think in our first or second episode, I said, don't waste an experience. Good or bad, don't waste it.
Yeah.
After the experience has passed, when you're looking at it now as a mirror, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? One of the greatest learning I got from my experience with my late son is I am resilient. Yeah.
Wow.
It taught me to be resilient. There is no other person to take care of this child. You know, my ex-husband was there, but I'm saying in terms of presence of a caregiver, was a primary caregiver. Yeah. And then I have to be present. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
It taught me resilience. And then I said, this was such a wealth of experience. I wouldn't let it just pass. After I found healing, I went for therapy a lot. Remember, I said my training as a psychologist helped me to heal.
Yes.
And healing is a journey. I bounced back.
Wow.
And my bouncing back is to start Susan Kahema Foundation.
Oh, wow.
And I cannot talk about my foundation without smiling.
Oh, wow. I can see like you lit up.
Oh, yes.
Because it's more, the motivation, it's more internal than it is external.
Exactly.
And the other thing I was able to learn is in this entrepreneurship space is people by people.
Yes.
It's not about the product. It's about, do you believe in them?
Yes.
And they're able to relate with you based on that. Wow. And you talk about an experience of you supporting people in Mombasa.
Yes.
Yeah. Are there any others that are coming up? And if there's anyone who's listening to us, how do they plug into that noble cause? Yeah.
Okay. I do most of my activities in Mombasa.
Okay.
And Mombasa for me was an easy entry point because I had worked with, when I was at a man counseling center, it gave me exposure to work with organizations working with people with disabilities. So it was very easy for me to plug into Association for the Physically Disabled.
Yeah.
Another organization is called Blooming Bird Center for Children with Special Needs.
Yeah.
So it was just easy for me to join in.
Like, see God.
Yeah, yeah. How do I get support?
Yes.
From my personal savings.
Yes.
And also from friends.
Okay.
I still believe Africa, we are a wealth of donors. Yeah. That the shilling you give me, a shilling I'm given by another person, I'm able to buy the things that I need to take.
Yes.
For example, we've revamped the occupational therapy room for APDK in Mombasa.
Okay.
We painted it. We bought the things that they needed to be bought.
Yeah, wow.
You know, it has child-friendly paintings. When you enter, you just feel, you're a child, you know?
I love that.
Yes. Small things like those ones.
Yeah.
I tell people, I need diapers.
Yes.
and people send me money.
Yeah.
The important thing is also accountability. I go to downtown and I buy the diapers and I distribute to these centers as well.
Wow.
So I want to urge for the people who want to support.
Yes.
You can check me out at SusanKahemaFoundation.org. That's our website.
Yeah.
Just go in there and check us out. You'll get the banking details and any other information that you may need from the foundation.
So feel free to go look out for it, see how you can be able to support Susan Kahema Foundation. We call it SKF.
Yes.
And it actually stands for Susan Kahema Foundation.
Yeah. One more. I am planning to do my launch.
Yes.
In June. My birthday is on June 16th. And that's the Day of the African Child.
Oh.
Yeah. But because it falls on a Monday, we hope to do the foundation on the 14th. 14th of June.
Yes.
I'll give more details to you guys later.
Yes.
But upcoming event to celebrate International Autism Day, we are having a cycling event in Mombasa.
Oh, wow.
I cannot cycle.
Yes.
But I want to add, those people who cannot cycle, come, walk, run, dance. There's going to be a band.
Oh, wow.
Dance.
Oh, wow. And it's therapy in itself.
It's therapy. And we are raising funds to start a pre-vocation center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. So I'm encouraging people. My parting shot.
Yes.
When you see someone who has started a foundation or a course, support them. Join hands, volunteer. Yeah, volunteer.
And even as you do your parting shot, when you talk about support, and support particularly to SKF, you've talked about support being the website. They'll be able to get details where they can even share money. What other ways of support can they be able to?
Thank you. Volunteer. In terms of when I'm doing a cleanup in an organization, just come, let's clean.
Oh, wow.
Volunteer for counselors.
Yes.
Planning a big event for child therapy.
Yes.
So can come and just be with us.
Yes.
Can volunteer in kind.
Yes.
Can tell me, Susie, I have clothes that I need to donate. Or I have gym equipment. Or I have mattresses. Whatever that you can give. Yeah, that's the kind of support I'm looking for.
So thank you for sharing that. So how do they get in touch with you so that they can be able to, if they were to volunteer, for example, how do they get in touch with you?
By email, info@SusanKahemaFoundation.org, and also my telephone number. So and all that is in the website.
Is in the website. Amazing. So the first point of entry is the website. Be sure to check SKF out. Check Susan Kahema on your social media platforms.
Susie Lalo Kahema everywhere.
Wow.
Facebook, LinkedIn, Susie Lalo Kahema. But for the foundation, Susan Kahema Foundation.
Wow. Check out her website. You'll get all the details. Wow. It has been a long and enriching journey. Super excited about this journey, and we've learned a lot. I have personally learned a lot, having known you for the years. I have learned a lot even in this session. So thank you so much for coming on board. It has been amazing. If you have really learned a lot, put on the comment section below what is that take that you've been able to get from this conversation. Stay tuned, continue to learn, and continue to be intentional about your mental health, because we believe here that mentally healthy people live a healthy life. See you on the next one. Remember to subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and till next time.
Bye.
Bye.